Shady Matt UK here with a couple of knives for you to look at. These are the CRKT Hammond Cruisers, designed by Jim Hammond. Two versions for you. This is the plain edge, the black Zytel scales. This one here is the Hammond Desert Cruiser with the town Zytel scales. This one has the partially serrated blade. These have an overall length of 9 inches when they're open, and very large folding knives. The blades on these are 3.75 inches long. They're made of Oz 6M with a bead blasted finish. Can't find anything about Oz 6M. I can't see if it's any different to Oz 6A. Apparently it's very similar to 8CR14 MOV, a steel popular with CRKT knives, used quite a lot in their drifters and their Pazoda, along with some of their other knives. It's a cheap steel. It's pretty soft. It takes a nice edge. It sharpens well, but yeah, it's not the best of steels. I'm not super keen on it, but I don't really put these knives for any hard use, so they haven't really had a chance to fail on me at all. They just happen to be in the collection. I think they'd be good knives for camping, maybe as a backup to a fixed blade. You know, they're a good large size, very ergonomic handle for such a big knife. It does feel very nice. Has the locks feature here. It's not the auto locks, it's just the manual locks. Apparently it turns the knife into a virtual fixed blade, making it impossible to disengage the liner here. I have seen a review of the M21 14 SFG with the auto locks, and that system actually failed. I think the guy was using it to baton with, which isn't really the best use for a folding knife, but you know, if CRKT says it turns it into a virtual fixed blade, then give it a go. What actually happened with his was the pivot screw had worked its way loose, and the scales and the liners had managed to pull apart slightly, just enough for this liner to be able to push across along with the locks feature that would normally stop that, giving enough space for the blade to actually close, and the knife completely failed. I don't think I'm going to be putting these through anything like that. If I need to baton with something, I think I'll be using a fixed blade. But I think these would be a good alternative to a fixed blade, maybe as a backup knife if you were camping, just to throw it in the pack. At 6 ounces, they're very heavy. I've tried to EDC one of these, and yeah, it doesn't feel right. Even with the, you know, you've got the 4-way positionable pocket clip for tip up, tip down, left, right side carry. I had some issues with that. This particular model's fine with the blade closed when I was carrying it tip up. There's no way that you're going to catch your finger on that blade. It's nested in there nice and deep. It does make it a little bit tricky to open with the thumb studs, due to the fact that it sits so deeply in there. The thumb stud's very close to the scales, but I tend to use the flipper with a little bit of a flick, and it comes out nicely. This black version though, this was the one I was trying to EDC. I was carrying it tip up, and it doesn't sit quite as snug in the handle as the tan version, to the point where if you reach in for this, you can actually catch your finger on the blade. If I just run with my fingernail there, you can actually catch it from outside of a handle, which isn't very good. Bit of a quality control issue, I think, there from CRKT. Closed, this knife is 5.25 inches. Like I said, it's a very big knife. The handles on this are Zytel with steel liners. The liners are 420 steel, skeletonized slightly. I mean, I think they could have skeletonized it more to save a bit of weight. You know, as a prime piece of real estate right there for another one of these holes. The liners are quite thick. It's I think they could have saved a bit more weight if they'd have put a bit more time and effort into this. This hole down here kind of looks like it could be used for a lanyard hole, but with the size of the blade. Once it's closed, you would be losing that lanyard, providing your knife was sharp, which of course it should be. So yeah, the price on these is a bit strange depending on where you look. The recommended retail from CRKT was at the $70 mark, $69.99. Other places you can go to, the recommended retail is as low as $30. But pretty much everywhere you go, you'll be able to pick these up for about $25. I got these in the UK. I picked this one up with the black scales for 23, I think it was, 23 pounds. And this one was 20. They're in a sale. Again, the price was marked up originally to make you seem like you're getting a really good deal. And at the time I didn't know much about them, so I thought I'd better snap them up while they were cheap. I'm glad I didn't go and pay the full retail asking price for these, because they're just not worth it. They're good knives, but the blade steel's cheap. It's a very soft steel. And for a knife of this size, I think having such a soft steel kind of defeats the object. I mean, if you're going to have a small blade for doing little tasks with, then that's not going to be a big issue. But for a knife that's marketed as, you know, being able to transform into a virtual fixed blade and having a 3.75 inch blade length, you'd expect him to put this through hard use, I'm thinking. And Oz 6, whether it's the Oz 6.6 or Oz 6A or the Oz 6M, isn't the steel for tasks like that, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it would be good for people with big hands and you just want a big knife for chopping up cardboard or day-to-day tasks like that, but it's a bit awkward to see what they're actually trying to do with this particular model. I can't really see where their unique selling point is, other than the fact that it's just a big tactical looking folder. The blade steel is similar to 440A, 440B in comparison. I think it acts the same. It's just as easy to sharpen, but it dulls pretty quickly, especially with cardboard. Cutting cardboard, you can get a nice edge on this, but you'll lose it pretty quick. So that's my quick look at these. I've thought I've had them in the collection for a while, and I get them out just to show them off a bit. There's quite a few reviews on these. There are several other versions available. There are versions with a almost another flipper at the top that works like a wave feature. You can get these with the tan Zytel scales and also a tan anodized blade as well. But yeah, you know, they're not bad knives. They're really comfortable, but yeah, I really struggle to see what they're designed for. Maybe if the steel was a bit better, maybe you had some G10 on there and some VG10, a VG10 blade, then I can see it kind of holding up to what it seems to be designed for. But as it is, I think they're just something nice to have in the collection. No, there's not many knives out there of this size, especially not in the, you know, the bog standard basic world of factory production knives. A lot of the custom knives seem to be very big, very chunky, but yeah, this is by no means a custom knife. Okay, thanks for watching.